I think a good way to start this film was actually to have a little bit of a cultural exchange of sorts. Let's go do something very American first. Alright, the Mustang might have helped me out just a little bit with my first burnout there, but I think it's alright though, because it's an American helping the German with his first burnout, and I think that's alright. It's like an Italian showing you how to make a pizza pie. Anyways, let's go ahead and do something a bit more German, something I already know quite well how to do. Now that we've warmed up tires the American way, went very fast in a straight line the German way, I think it's now time to talk about what I, as a German, think about the American vehicle. The vehicle, right? Americans always call it a vehicle. The motor vehicle! The number one quality the Mustang has is that it does not matter what speed you're going. Going fast on the Autobahn, boss. Driving around town, boss. Going to work, boss. I can appreciate the looks of the car while I'm sitting in the car. You just sit in the lowest seating position and there's this huge, humongous hood, and it looks so great with the ridges and everything. And then you look in the side view mirror, and then there's just this bulgy, big shoulder, and it has so many lines running around the car. Sitting in here, I can see a bunch of it. I can appreciate the dished steering wheel, and there's a bunch of stuff in the interior that is just so American. These chrome switches down here. If I look at the dashboard there, I have this Mustang since 1964 badge, which looks very cool. Shouldn't this say 1964 and a half, really? I'm not so sure. The one gripe I have with the interior actually is that this is very hard plastic, right? Which I do not care about one iota. The trouble is the armrest ends here, so I can't drive like this. This does not work. So I have to drive like this, and then that is not comfortable at all. I get around it though. I'll just drive American style, like they see me rolling, they hate it. And the best thing about it is that I don't feel like a boss driving it because it's like a 150,000 euro sports car. No. I feel like a boss in here because the Mustang is an absolute boss. But in general, I'm just a very big fan of America though. They make great music, great movies. They know how to do entertainment, basketball. They invented basketball, best sport ever. We're gonna go through a tunnel here. I can't accelerate really because everybody is going approximately 10 kph, but I certainly can disturb the neighborhood. The Mustang does have a very large footprint, so when you have to navigate it through very narrow European city roads, it sometimes is a little bit of a squeeze. But European cars can be just as big too, except for if you talk about pickup trucks. Americans and pickup trucks, that's just a recipe for complete and utter madness. Let's try the Brembos. All right, my face came off just a little bit there. little bit better at heel and towing the Mustang though. The gas pedal should be a little bit higher because you have not very much brake pedal travel at all, but you can modulate it very well, and it doesn't take all that much practice. The gearbox is a very mechanical feeling thing, as it should, because you do have to use a little bit of muscle to get the gear in, and you can actually hustle the gear shifts, and it's not going to complain at all. But I really like to go at a medium pace and really shift deliberately. That is when the shifting process feels the best. When I first pulled up the tech sheet for the Mustang, it said 16:1 steering ratio. That is pretty American. On the initial turn-in, you're gonna miss a little bit of that aggressiveness. Once the car is loaded up, once you have the weight on one side of the car, it corners like something European. In the wet, it gets sketchy very, very quickly. The other day, I was on the Autobahn. The road was slightly damp. Fourth gear, 120 kph. I was like, yeah, you sure? Just put the hammer down. And then it started to Mustang all over the place. It is very comfortable in daily driving situations. And then here, yes, you do have a touch of body roll, but it's not bad at all. You can still hustle this through corners. So GT implies it should be sporty, but it needs to be comfortable as well. And, yep, Mustang. It's like 80s and 90s Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's fast, agile enough, but mostly it's about raw, predator-killing power. 5 liters of American V8 motor is quite nice to drive. And the Mustang GT certainly is fast. Certainly on a country road, very, very fast. Just driving around town though, like I'm not going fast at all. And it feels so super special to drive this car. A lot of it has to do with the special, very, very American noises the Coyote V8 motor makes. And around $3,000 is when my favorite part of the engine note comes on. And then $5,000 is pretty spectacular too. And it changes again at around $6,000. You go to $4,000, you have more power than you had at $3,000. You go to $5,000, more power, $6,000, more power. That is much more rewarding than with a turbo motor where it's like, oh, go up $3,000, power, 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 always same power. For instance, 1,000 RPM right now, third gear, I don't have to shift down. No way. Just I'm just really glad Ford didn't put an over-the-top exhaust on this because, frankly, it just is not necessary. You would maybe even ruin the car. Dude, Americans know what's up when it comes to creating entertainment. Be it movies, music, all of the things I said before. Motor vehicles. Americans know how to build motor vehicles. That excite me anyways. Ford has, as of September 2016, sold almost 7,000 Ford Mustangs. 80% of those are Mustang GTs. That is the most successful car of its class in Germany, where apparently all we really care about is that everything is soft materials and whatnot. What we really want, it turns out, is drop a gear and enjoy 5 liters of democracy coming to you from Fort America.
We're getting a bit of the impression that you liked that.
Just a tiny bit. I don't know why that is.
Yeah, but here's the thing actually that I do want to start with, that I think is really interesting. That really best-selling car in its class in Germany, the Mustang?
Turns out we like cheap horsepower as well.
That's a complete surprise to me, because I wouldn't ever think that would be the case. I would think it'd be a massively niche vehicle. And I also think it's interesting because the whole point of this generation of the Mustang was to be a global car. And part of the big global car push was, we're going to put a four-cylinder in it.
The engine, exactly.
And then the four-cylinder's not selling, the V8 is. I love that.
I paid 44,000 euros for that car, for a 5-liter V8 in excess of 400 horsepower.
Sure.
For 40,000 euros, you're not getting anything in Germany. like you're looking at a 428i or something.
So you're saying, though, that the V8 is outselling the four-cylinder?
Oh, but it's 80% GTs. Take a Chevy Camaro, for instance, right? Which you can get at the pretty much the same price point over here.
Yeah.
Right.
That's selling like 900 units in a time where the Mustang is shifting 7,000 units.
Wow. That's amazing.
That speaks to how much Germans just adore the Ford Mustang. It's got to be the Mustang.
Did you get looks? I mean, did people, they know the car, obviously, but is it like you're driving a supercar? Because America is filled with Mustangs. We know what the Mustang is. It's a great car, but it doesn't, nobody really looks twice.
You have a bunch of people looking, you have a bunch of heads turned.
And I love that you call it, you know, old school, and this is the most modern Mustang ever. The next generation will be even more modern, and it's still old school. I find that hilarious. But to your point, it's about the feel. It's about the lineage of where it came from, independent rear suspension for the first time on the Mustang. We noticed it on track, we liked it. It's been a dramatic improvement in every Mustang that we've driven of this new one. And clearly being the best-selling car in Germany, in its class, means people are using it as their only car. They're getting around the narrow roads, driving it in the rain, not punching it in fourth gear at high speeds. All these things, they're using it and they're happy with it. Because Americans use their Mustangs for crashing after they go to a car show. True. We don't really drive them fast. We just crash them immediately after the car club on Sunday mornings. So
it feels to me like all of this American charm that you get with this car, I have yet to drive any other car that can replicate that feel. Be it American, be it Japanese, be it European, it doesn't even matter. There's something a bit special about a Mustang that I can't quite put it to words, but a Mustang is something a bit special.
Well, as always, man, thank you so much for great work. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, my American friends, and I happen to love your cars. Keep building them. Latest.